Hello, 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 my beautiful and amazing people. It's your girl, Racheal Kay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Nigeria. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Across the globe, how are you all doing? Please drop a comment if you're here. If you can see and hear me properly, please drop a comment in the section box. Good to be back. How are you all doing? How are you? Who is online? Who can see this live broadcast? It's your girl, Racheal Kay. It's been a while. I think all through August we haven't been on. So I've missed you guys for like 3 weeks, no, 2 weeks. So how are you all doing? How are you all doing? Please drop a comment in the section box. Let me know you're viewing and you can see and hear me properly. Please drop a comment in the section box. Get your friends to also connect. Ladies with Stories is live. We're here with another exciting episode of Ladies with Stories, and today it will be an amazing episode. Like always, I'll be reading through a story for us. One of our guests sent in her story, so I'll be reading through her story for us. So if you're here and you don't want to miss out on this juicy story, get your friends to come and join. Get your friends to know that we are live. Ladies with Stories is live, and we are excited to be back. Thank you so much for those who reached out to me in our time of grief. I lost my mother-in-law, so that's why we haven't been on. And I got a lot of messages from you people. Oh, how you doing? How is everything? Our prayers are with you, and I'm so grateful for that. It meant a lot to me. Thank you so much. I'm very, very grateful. So get your friends to share this and get your friends to come on board. We're live, we're live, we're live. It's another exciting evening with Ladies with Stories. Hi Esther, how you doing? Thank you. It's another time. Hi Anita. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Any plans for the weekend? What are your plans for this weekend? Any Owambe? Do you have anything planned up for the weekend, guys? It's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Good to be back. It's been a while. It feels very different, but it's been back. I'm back to stay. Have you guys been following up on the activities? This is just a special shout out to Ruth Kasham, for handling our social media page all through this period. It's been booming, it's been blossoming activities, Sunday pictures. I've been seeing lots of beautiful girls. I was thinking maybe I'll go and get some of those boys to men guys, collaborate with some other organizations that are doing men things. Maybe we can get to do a matching something on the page. You never can tell. You never can tell. So get your friends to join us. Get your friends to join us. We're going to start really fast. Hopefully, we don't spend up to 30 minutes today. So we'll try to be very fast about it. So if your friends are not here, get them to join. All you need to do, share it, let people know we are live. But until then, I'll just go on a quick break. And once we return, we'll start our story for the day, okay? Welcome back, my people. This is Racheal Kay. If you're just joining us for the first time, Ladies with Stories is a platform where women share their stories with the aim of inspiring and empowering other women across the globe to succeed. And I'm your able host and founder for Ladies with Stories. And, we try our best to ensure that every woman is equipped And we run through so many projects like conferences, having conferences where we get people together, share their experiences, share knowledge with them. Also, we're running our Project 30. We've started our pilot scheme where we empower women with skills, their desired skills, so they can empower other people. So I'm grateful to bring that to you. And tonight I'll be sharing a story from our guest. I'll be reading that through to you. So likewise, if you have your own story you want us to share and you don't want to come live to share the story, it's fine. You can send it to me and I'll be reading. So if you're ready, let's go. Okay, so our story for today is from someone in Nigeria. So she sent her story in February this year. We're supposed to have her on the show within that period, but she had a problem. She couldn't be on the live show. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. We'll read through your story for you. And I hope it inspires people. Our aim here is not just to bring guests and tell their stories or have them tell their stories, but it is for everyone to listen to those stories, pick lessons from those stories, and live out life to the fullest. So you can be wondering, how can I learn from those stories? How can I live life from those stories? You can always, whatever story you hear, you can always ask yourself, am I in this situation? If yes, what can I draw from this story? Throughout this year, we've brought more people that are students because we felt, okay, this is a young people forum where we have more students here. So you could ask yourself, those students that are coming on laws, what are they sharing? Are they sharing academic excellence? Are they sharing how they navigate through life and balance it up with their social services and or social endeavors that they do? We've had stories of people who have been molested in school, and you ask yourself, what can I learn from this story? It means you can learn how to be smart, how to avoid such things, how to take the right step, to know that there are people that are also going through such situation like you, that didn't fumble or that didn't compromise at the end of it. So you can always draw strength from those stories. You can always draw strength from, if you are in a relationship, marriage relationship, and it's abusive, you can always listen to stories that have been shared on things like that. How did they get a way out? Did they have to speak to somebody? Who did they speak with? Did they look for organizations that were helping them through those challenging moments? Did they speak to their family members? And then you will weigh the option and see, if I talk to my family members, will there be a way out? If I go to this organization, is there something like that? That is how you draw your strength from all the stories we are sharing. So it's not just about you putting on your data and listening, it's about you learning from what you are listening. It's about you networking with what you have listened. I've taught you guys how to network with our guests, which that was like a personal private class, which I taught you guys. So you can also use that to learn. So I'll just quickly read through our story and then we talk about it. Then we call it a night. Thank you guys for always listening to me. Thank you for always coming on the channel. Thank you for always staying through to laws. It's a privilege and I do not take it for granted. So thank you. So she said, coming from a family of 5 siblings, I am the second child and very intelligent. At 17, I got pregnant in Form 5 secondary school. I was rejected out of anger by my parents and had to leave with the guy. Life wasn't easy with us because I wasn't doing anything to support a poor bread seller who later was dismissed of his work. I begged until I put to bed prematurely to a set of twins without buying anything for them. At the hospital, my parents came and people dashed us gifts for the children. After suffering with these 2 children for 2 years, later I lost one of them due to continuous problem from this guy. He will beat me at every mistake. He will insult me and even stop me from doing anything to help myself. I later decided to leave this relationship and face my future. I started teaching in a government primary school and got some money to start a restaurant business. From there, I got enrolled in school and obtained my certificate. went into nursing, and became very serious with my studies. After graduation, I was self-employed. I started running a small medicine shop alongside teaching in a primary school in a neighboring village from my parents. From there, I got grants, made money, and decided to have my own school. Thereafter, I went to the city to further my education, where I found my husband, who rushed to me without delay after hearing my profile. Today, I'm a successful lady empowering youths and women, an activist against gender based violence due to the traumatic experience I went through with my first love. So that's the story. I asked her, could you please send me a brief of your story? Because she was supposed to come for the live show. And she sent this story. And I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot for one person to go through. So she got pregnant at the age of 17, and she was pregnant for a bread seller who was later dismissed from his job. And life became very hard for her. She lost one of the child due to the continuous maltreatment she got from the guy, and also her poor condition. The guy will always beat her, stop her from doing what she needed to do to help him, just more like doing a menial job to support him. But then she decided to give herself sense and she left that relationship. When she left the relationship, she didn't just stop there. She didn't just leave the relationship. She left the relationship. She went back to school. She left, she was still teaching as a primary school teacher. And then, she furthered her education and got her nursing certificate. And now she has built a school. So the moral lesson for this story today is it's still determination. There are so many lessons to draw from it. She getting pregnant at 17 was bad. It was bad enough that she got pregnant, and out of anger, her parents rejected her, and then she had to go back to that guy. So if we were to start from that line, it was more like parents there failed her also. Yes, she did what was wrong, but her parents failed her. And this is a cry to every parent watching this or will watch this later on, that no matter the mistake your child makes, it is not enough. It is not enough to throw that child out, because you throwing that child out is you exposing that child to more danger. It's you exposing that child to more danger. See, she had to go back to that boyfriend of hers who was just a bread seller. And when she got back, the guy had the guy will have the nerve to know that, okay, your family don't care about you. Your family didn't see you valuable, and that's why you were chased out of the house to come stay with me. And she had to endure every treatment that guy gave her. The beatings with the pregnancy, the beatings after the pregnancy, after the children were given birth to, him stopping her from working. She had to bear with that, and she put it in her head that, okay, I have nobody. If my family could do all this to me, I have nobody. And she just continued. But then eventually she gave herself sense and she went back to school, which meant irrespective of the situation you find yourself, there is always light if you're willing to see that light. If you're willing to tell yourself, I can do this, that I am in this situation doesn't mean it is the end of life. There are people who got pregnant out of wedlock, and it just felt like that was it for them. That was the end. There was nothing to do. But for her, she felt, if I could just go back to school. But what did she do? She didn't go back to school in his house. She had to leave. She had to leave. She had to take a bold step to leave. So rather than staying in that comfort zone, which wasn't even comfortable for her, she left. She left and she started schooling. So she was in a village now. She says schooling based on the story. She said, I later decided to leave the relationship and face my future. I started teaching in a government primary school. So we're assuming at 17, she was done with her secondary school. So she had to go back to teaching a primary school. So she had to leave the primary school, I guess, was in the village. And then while she was teaching, she got money to start up a restaurant business. So the question is, what skill do you have? What skill do you have? You might not be in her situation, like get pregnant and start to stay in the village. No, but even where you are, what skill do you have? What can you monetize? So she started a restaurant business from the salary she was receiving, and later on she got enrolled in school, which will be a higher education. She got enrolled in school, and I obtained my certificate and went into nursing and became very serious with my studies. So she had a future. She had what she wanted to do in mind. She wanted to become a nurse. So no matter what had happened, she was still going to be that nurse. So she, after getting all the money from her restaurant business, she got into school, paid her tuition fee, and she became a nurse. Upon graduation, she opened a small medicine shop. To her, that was small, but to her situation, that was huge. She opened a small medicine shop alongside still teaching in a primary school in a neighboring village. From there, I got grants, made money, and decided to own my school. So she has a school, she has a medicine shop, and she was still teaching. That's amazing. That's why we say light at the end of the tunnel. That's some light. I owned my school, and after I went to the city to further my education, I found my husband. That you are a single mother doesn't mean you wouldn't find love. That you got pregnant out of wedlock doesn't mean that you need to marry that guy that got you pregnant. That you became something else that you did not desire or you did not want does not mean you have to remain in that situation. So it means you can always change. There is always room for change. There is always room to grow. There is always room for determination. There is always room to become better. I always say, become a better version of you. There is room for that, but you need to make up your mind. Everybody, the world might look like nobody's going to give you something, but somehow, when you push through, you will get something. Some of you say, oh, Racheal, there is no capital to start this business. Some businesses don't need capital. All they need is you sharing your idea with somebody. You could be like, oh, okay, so I don't know what cost to study in school. You could talk to people to help you through. And at some point, you should be able to know what you want to do. You should reach that point that you want to do something. Or you'd be like, oh, I'm just doing this course because CASU gave it to me, or your university just gave you that course. It's fine. Hold it up. Take that course with dignity and try to make the best out of it. Go for certifications for those courses. So you don't have to remain in that situation. Let nothing make you stay in your situation the way it is without having to improve. From being pregnant at 17 to having twins and one of them dying because of maltreatment and the poor condition of their living, she had to make up her mind to leave. She had to be determined to start afresh. She had to be determined that I'm going to start afresh. So the question is, what are you starting afresh? What are you holding so tight onto? What can't you let go to start afresh? Why are you so comfortable in your comfort zone? She's not here to share the story because I know a lot happened. A lot happened. A lot happened. That's just more like a brief of our story. A brief of our story. But there was a lot and a lot and a lot happened in between for her to get to where she got to. But since she's not here to give us what happened in between the steps she took, you put the picture in your head. From being pregnant at 17, your family rejecting you, you're going back to that guy who you thought loved you, that you got pregnant for him, to him maltreating you and beating you, and then you losing that child, one of the twin after birth. After 2 years of taking care of them, one died. And then, instead of staying in that place, you decided in your mind, okay, I'm going to do something better. So you also think in your head, put the story in your situation. What can I do better for myself? It may be dark right now, but there is still light at the end of the tunnel. But obviously, the tunnel can be so long. So it depends on you. Do you want to give up or do you want to continue? Do you want to give up or do you want to continue? It depends on you. So, what are you going to do to get to the end of that tunnel? Which persons are you going to speak to till you get to the end of that tunnel? That your family rejected you does not mean that nothing good can come out from you. That your boyfriend break your heart does not mean that there'll be nobody else to love you. That you failed that curse does not mean that that is the end for you. So it depends. What can you see? She saw herself becoming great. She didn't just sit there. She kept pushing. She kept pushing. Imagine pushing with a child, struggling with no family support. But today, she is a proud owner of a school. She is a certified nurse. She is successfully empowering youth and women, and she's an activist against gender based violence. So she's using her story to to let people know that you can still live through GBV. She's telling people that you don't have to remain there. You can have a switch in your life. That your boyfriend is hitting and beating you. He's not the best. He's not the only one for you. That your husband is hitting and beating you. There is still a way out. There is still a way out. And today she's okay. So I hope you've learned one thing from this story that you should still see through. That your condition may be bad, but it is not the end of it. The society may write you off just like her family wrote her off, but that's not the end of it. You can come out successful. The year is still going. That from January to in August, January to August, nothing good has come out does not mean the year will end bad. It doesn't mean the year will all end bad. There's still 4 months for things to get better. Do not give up. Keep seeing through the light. Keep seeing through that light. Hold on to what you can hold on to. As long as it is good and pure, hold on to it. I was going to say, avoid making mistakes like she did. Avoid making mistakes like she did. I always talk about abstinence and all that, but at some point it feels like abstinence is not even a thing again. Then use protection. There is a lot goes on in this thing. It's easy to get, it's easy to you think just getting pregnant is it. No. To take care of that child is a lot. It takes a lot to take care of the child. So think about it. Think about yourself. Think about your family. Think about your parents. Think about everyone around you. Love can wait. Love can wait. Having sex is not a test of true love. Like he'll be like, oh, I need to test. If you love me, you're going to allow me to have some sex with you. It's not a test of true love. So you should define what true love is to you. You should define it. And if it doesn't matches with what you believe, let it go. Do not compromise. Let it go. I hope I've been able to inspire you this evening. I hope you've been able to learn something from her story. Though it's not the full story, but I just thought, okay, we need to come back on laws. We need to, resume from our break and have something to share. By next week, we shall have our guests. They'll come again, share their stories, and I hope you'll be able to learn something. It's still 2024. The year is still ongoing. Don't give up. Don't let go. Don't give in. Okay? Okay. Have you learned something? If you have learned something this evening, just drop a comment. I learned something. Or just tell me what you learned. If you did learn anything from her story, if you learned anything, you can drop a comment. You learned something. Let me know that you learned. Yes, sex is not a test of true love. Absolutely, it is not. It is not. It is not a it is not a test of true love. It never will be. It has never been. Put your criteria right. Know who loves you, who is patient with you, who is loving towards you, who has your interest at heart. Don't give up. Absolutely, no matter what happens, no matter what, that you got pregnant at SS2 or SS3 does not mean that's the end for you. That you got pregnant in your 100 levels, that's not the end for you. That you got pregnant before marriage, it's not the end. There is always hope. There is always somebody that will love you with your child. Do not settle for less. Do not settle for less. Delay is not denial. Absolutely, delay is not denial. She was able to get all she needed to get. Yes, she lost time, but she still got what she needed to get. She's now a certified nurse. She now has a school. She still has a medicine shop. And, she's now empowering people on a larger scale, sharing her story and doing a lot. And she still has her child, though she lost one, but she still has one. So delay is not denial. Don't settle for less. Don't let anything make you settle for less, okay? Try your best. Try your best to ensure that you succeed. Use your story to inspire and empower more people. Let your story inspire you first. Let it be that, oh, I was inspired by my story and I'm not going to let go and I'm not going to give up and I'm going to use this same story to tell someone that you can do it. If I can do it, then you can do it. Okay, guys, I hope you've learned something this evening. Oh, it's just definitely going to be a very short one. I said we're not going to spend up to 30 minutes, and yes, we're right on time. So thank you so much for joining in this evening. Our project 30 is amazingly going well. We have our catering classes, our baking classes. They're good, going on well. We have our sewing classes going on well. Our makeup, we couldn't pull that through because the people that were supposed to attend the makeup classes said they were not able to go through that. And we tried reaching out to some few persons that indicated for makeup, but they never responded. So hopefully we do that in the main project in January or July. Are you guys good? Thank you so much, guys, for joining in tonight. Thank you for being on the page. Hopefully by next month, that's September the 5th, if I'm not mistaken, September the 5th or September the 10th, we'll have a story to share and we'll have our guests come share their story with us. So stay glued, follow the page. Please engage on all our social media pages. We have Instagram, TikTok, TikTok, LinkedIn, and X. So please follow them when a post is made on Facebook. Also remember that that post is also made on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere. So please try to engage with it. Thank you so much for staying through with us. It's been a good evening, and I pray that your night will be beautiful and your weekend will be great. I'll see you on the 10th or on the 15th. I don't know. I'll see you when I see you. And trust me, it's going to be an amazing time. Thank you for staying through. It's been a beautiful August. Thank you, Kasham, and your team for pulling out all you do or for doing all you do on our social media pages. We're so grateful. I'll see you guys when I see you. Do have a good night rest. Bye bye. Good night, guys. And if you have any story you want us to read out, please you can send your full story to us. You can send a DM with your story, or you can send it to our email. Thank you so much, guys. I do love you all, and I'll see you in September when we are back in full force and full shape. I've really learned a lot, regardless of how life messes us up. We should keep striving hard without giving up because it would definitely be worth it with tears of joy someday. Absolutely, it will.